Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things that may be. Lamb. Hey, baddies.
Hey, baddies.
Let's talk about sex.
We haven't talked about sex yet on this podcast, and we thought episode 53...
Cheers to a sexy episode 53.
Would be a good one. Cheers.
Sorry I cut you off.
It's okay.
First off, I just want to address something before we get into the podcast. My dogs are out. Dogs out on the pod.
Dogs out on the podcast.
If you've been here for the long haul,
you would know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's
because we have a new studio.
Them woofers are out.
And for the last 6 months, we were filming with our dogs under the table. You couldn't see them.
Sweetie, dogs have been under the table for 6 months.
But if you guys were here during the couch days,
the dogs would be out. They'd creep out from underneath the blanket, and then we'd get in a dog fight, and we'd fight our feet with each other. No, we got spoiled with the other studio. I mean, this one's way better.
Yeah.
But the other studio was nice because...
we didn't have to wear pants.
No pants. We'd just be both sitting there with our labias on the seat. Like, vibing. And you guys had no fucking idea.
She did not run that one by me. We're going to get right into it.
So, actually, no, I have another thing I want to say.
Okay.
It's teeny time, bitches.
Oh, my God.
How long has it been?
We haven't done teeny time?
Teeny time, it's teeny time. That's not even the right song.
Oh, thank God,
it's teeny time.
I think that's like a child's jingle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I can't remember what it is. It's deep in the archives of my memory.
Literally.
Whatever, it's motherfucking teeny time. It came to my attention that of all the shit we've yapped about on this podcast, of all the advice and relationship, we have never talked about sex.
Yeah.
And I think it was because we were really trying to stay away from any sort of
vulgarity.
Yeah, we didn't want to be associated with a...
No, because if you knew us in real life, we're actually pretty vulgar people.
Horribly vulgar.
Jokingly, but I'll pretty much talk about anything. We're both very much open books. And I think that's kind of what bonds people together sometimes is talking about taboo topics.
Being comfortable, saying whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning, because of my career, I was very nervous that we were going to become a sexual podcast because... ain't no fucking surprise. I'm a pretty sexual person.
Yeah.
So I was like, we could talk about sucking dicks, but no, it was never going to be that.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about sex in a way where we're telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Because there's videos for that. Just Google it. We want to talk about sex in relationships.
Yeah.
And I actually have a lot to say about this topic because I think as women, we have a lot of sexual expectation. And I think anyone who's been in a long-term relationship understands that a relationship gets to a point where sex is not your number one priority anymore, or your sexual desires kind of fizzle out a little bit. And there's a lot of pressure when it comes to that and how to fix that.
Yeah, in a relationship, especially long-term relationships, once the honeymoon phase kind of fizzles out and you guys are living your normal day-to-day lives and the pressures of work and friendships and family all set in, and it's not just rainbows and butterflies anymore, it's really hard to prioritize a good sex life in a relationship, especially when you're so comfortable with somebody. When you live with them, you come home, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you're both tired. It's not
He's farting in the bathroom.
you're farting under the sheets.
Literally.
You have diarrhea and you're beatboxing in the toilet down the hall from him and he can hear it. Come on, ladies.
Everyone's been there. I think I want to start off by saying, don't fall in love with someone for the sex, because that part will go away at some point. There has to be more depth to your relationship than just how good your sex is. If you are in the early stages with someone and you're banging like rabbits, which we all are in the beginning, right? Yeah. And you feel this huge, intensely passionate feelings for someone, but you haven't really been together that long, or you don't really know that much about who this person is or what their morals and their values are, do take a step back and realize sexual intimacy has a lot of hormonal reactions in your brain. It's a soul tie. Whether you want it to be or not, I do believe that sex in a way is a soul tie. You're letting someone legitimately enter you. Mm-hmm. It's such an intimate thing.
It's an energy exchange.
Yeah. And if you are feeling really, really strongly towards someone that you don't really know, do try and remember that if you are going to be in a long-term relationship with them, it has to be about more than just that feeling.
And also keep in mind, I know we talk a lot about situationships on this podcast. It's really easy to be in the wrong relationship and have really good sex and think that you're in love or think that you have this really deep connection. And a lot of the times in those specific relationships, those are the ones that turn into the toxic relationship with the narcissistic love bomber, because they're telling you everything you need to hear as a woman to get you into bed. And then they're having really good sex with you because they're a whore and they've slept with
No
every
doubt.
other woman in the city. And to them, it's just sex and you're a pretty woman and they're just attracted to you. But do they really like you? Do they really know you? Because it's not uncommon for a man to be able to sleep with a woman and enjoy her company because she's beautiful and she's smart and she's got all these qualities, but they don't actually know you or like you or appreciate you for those reasons. They may just be in it for the fuck of it. No pun intended.
A man does not have to be in love with you to deeply enjoy having sex with you. Whereas a woman is a lot more likely to deeply enjoy sex if she is actually in love with a man.
It's not a compliment if a man enjoys having sex with you. It's quite literally what they were programmed to do.
A man enjoys having sex with a pie, a grapefruit, a sweet potato. And I'm so sorry if you're a man listening to this. Men are just a lot more sexually motivated in most cases. I'm not speaking for everybody.
It's not true in every case. Yeah. Like, my partner's not like that. He's very much an emotional lover. And I really respect that about him. It was very confusing in the beginning because I'm like, why don't you just want to fuck me every 5 seconds? I don't get it. It was just, I don't fucking know you. Like, well, that's never stopped anyone before.
Right. Like, since when does that matter?
And it's funny, actually, if we could get into this a little bit, because that made me feel almost unwanted. And, I should have taken that as such a green flag. And I'm not saying I took it as a red flag, but it is interesting how programmed we are as women to think that our desirability is that we are wanted in a sexual way. As much as we try to say that we don't want to be viewed in that light, the second that you meet someone that doesn't necessarily want that from you, like they'd rather just get to know you, it almost is like a little bit disheartening, especially
like, what's wrong with me?
When you want it from them or you're talking to someone and they're just taking it a little bit slower in your mind, because men are so like animalistic when it comes to sex. You take it personally. You're like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah.
As women, we are so programmed to like please. Right? And so when a guy like wants to have sex with us and we're having sex with them and everyone's happy and the guy's happy, we feel like we're giving something of value.
Even if the sex isn't good for us.
I'm like, fuck, I'll just do it, I guess.
Because
like,
they're enjoying it. It's like...
And I'm not saying that all the time. Like, I have definitely had interactions with men that I wasn't in love with where I enjoyed the sex. But I'm never going to lie and say that I had mind-blowing sex with someone who I wasn't emotionally attached to. For me, that was just because it was what everyone was doing. And I think that's the thing about our generation, especially. There's not a lot of like laws when it comes to having sex. Like, you can do a one-night stand these days and not be like called out for it or stoned for it or burned at the stake for it. Like, it's a lot more common.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I've never enjoyed one singular sexual encounter with someone that I didn't love. Now, that doesn't mean that the sex that I did enjoy with other people was because they valued me or appreciated me. It's because I was stuck in this vicious cycle with a narcissist or someone that didn't care about me. And that was when I felt validated by the person that I wanted to want me.
They almost use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
I can say from my abusive relationship, sex was a weapon for him because it was like, that was the only time that I felt like he loved me.
Yeah, intimate with you.
And he didn't. He was mean and the sex was horrible, but like, that's just what you connected.
It's the connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't speak enough to what you said about being with a man who's not so sexually driven and sexually motivated, because when it really comes down to it, like my fiance, it was never the pushy guy. Never. I mean, he like enjoys sex. He loves having sex with me, but he's not, our relationship does not depend on it. And it never has. And I think that's why it's so important to make sure if you want to enter a long-term relationship and you really seriously see a future with someone, where is the sex priority on your list? Because it should be up there, but it sure as hell should not be number 1 or number 2, maybe even number 3. Like, have a healthy sex life, enjoy each other, respect each other, but you have to care about each other on a different level before that becomes more important. And since we're speaking candidly, although my partner and I have a very enjoyable sex life and a very healthy sex life, if they sewed me up tomorrow or chopped him off tomorrow, we would still love each other just as much.
This kind of reminds me of something that I heard recently. When you're choosing the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, make sure that that person is somebody that you would want to be there with you to support you when you go through the most traumatic things a person can go through, like losing your parents. Don't just marry someone for the person that you're going to be standing next to in the wedding photo. Marry them for who they're going to be for the rest of your life. And hearing that really put it into perspective, because I think we put a lot of pressure on the person that we're with right now. And if we're happy and if we're in love and how's our sex and how's our relationship and do they treat us well? But really taking a step back and considering whether or not that person would be somebody that would take care of you if you needed it, someone that you would want to be around going through the most traumatic thing you've ever been around. Like, if you don't think your partner would be the right person to take care of you or soothe you or console you when you're going through something like extremely traumatic. I mean, the example this woman gave was losing both of your parents. Because at some point in our life, we're going to be all alone. That's all we have now is just us and the people that we have in our life already. Our family's going to be dead. That's just the fucking brutal fact of the matter. Is the person you're with right now somebody that you can see actually taking care of you when everyone else is gone? Is the person you're with right now somebody that you can see yourself being content with if nobody else in your life existed?
And I hate to put a hierarchy on it because there isn't one. Like, everybody is important. Your family matters a lot. But if you wouldn't pick your partner over everybody else, and I mean everybody, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your kids, and that sounds fucked up, right? But your partner is the person that you choose to be your family. If you wouldn't pick them over everybody else, you should find someone that you would. Your partner is the person that you're gonna eat more meals with, wake up more mornings with, take more showers with, go through more trauma with than any other person on this earth. If your partner isn't someone that you could trust to support you through anything and everything, then you should reconsider who you're with.
And if you're the girl out there listening to this that is like, God, I'm in this situationship, I really like this guy, we have great sex, like you feel like you're being called out right now, or you feel heartbroken or confused over the fact that you're in this situation, you're not heartbroken. You're addicted to the inconsistency. And as long as you allow somebody that's inconsistent into your life, you're gonna keep coming up with the same results. The only way to find your way out of a situationship where someone's unsure about you or you're unsure about what they want is to just straight up ask them, and if they tell you they don't know, then baby, they don't know.
I think we've said this about 400 times, but like, when they say it, believe them.
Yeah.
When someone says something to you, you have to believe them. Because if you don't believe what they say or what their actions prove, it's only your hopes and the potential that you see in this person keeping the relationship alive. And neither of those things are real.
So to get back to the sex topic, what happens in a relationship when the sex fizzles out and you know you need to make it a priority, but you're so overwhelmed with life and work and like you're just not in like a very fuckable mood? Like, what are you supposed to do?
And I think that's a really good topic too, because we talk about toxic sex and toxic relationships a lot, but there's a lot of people who are in long-term healthy relationships with people who treat them well and respect them, who just don't really feel like fucking anymore. Like, we've all been there. I've been there with my relationship. You get tired, you get burnt out. And I think the way that I have looked at this that has really changed it for me, because I do think that healthy sex is important for a healthy relationship. And especially if it's, you know, your man is needing it a little bit more than you. Because I think most of the time, your man's like...
Usually it's like my partner, he's so respectful about it. But if I'm just tired, I'm not in the mood. And like, if he were to reject me, oh my God, my whole world would come crumbling down. But he takes the rejection so well because it's not about him. It's about, I'm just not in the mood right now. I've had a long day at work. I've had a long week. I'm tired of using my brain. And like, sex is really supposed to be something that is supposed to relax you and make your day better. And I think I'll let you finish your point, but like, I really think that taking a minute to just kind of indulge in and let go and just enjoy the time between you and your partner might actually help calm some of your stress.
I think one of the best tips that I've learned is just to say yes and to try, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying say yes when you don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm saying try.
Yeah.
Make out. Let him go down on you.
Yeah.
Give yourself the opportunity to get a little fired up.
Yeah.
Because you might be surprised by how easy it is when you just actually give into that urge and try.
No, and because that's such a good fucking point, because whenever I'm not in the mood, it's just because I shut it down immediately.
You don't even think about it. It's no.
I need a little warming up. Women need a little bit of a reboot to get going. And if I shut it down before the reboot happens, then it's, of course I'm not going to want it. But the second that I get into it, I always enjoy it.
Don't get me wrong. There is times when it's like your man's kissing the back of your neck, your fucking back hurts, you're tired. He's back there, he's breathing in your ear. You're like, oh my sweet Jesus. Everyone's been there.
Yeah.
I challenge you to try to turn around, kiss him back, even if you're like really don't fucking want to. Now, if you're getting into it and you're rubbing your bodies against each other and you're kissing and you still do not feel like it, in no way am I saying just to have sex because it's going to make him happy. Do I do that? Yeah, because the sex for me, it's not like it's so bad or unbearable or horrible that I can't or don't want to do it. Like sometimes when I'm, full disclosure on this podcast, when I'm not in the mood, I'm like, I roll over and I'm like, make it quick, motherfucker. Like, and he does.
Yeah.
And that's fine for me. That works for me. But if that doesn't work for you, I urge you to try with your partner and try and get in the mood and get a habit, get a routine with your sex life. Because sometimes we get overwhelmed when it's like, and don't get me wrong, spontaneous sex is fantastic and long and random and, you know, in a porta potty or whatever. It's really cool, but it's not realistic for our day-to-day life. Make sex a habit and a routine. And that might sound fucking boring, but sex in marriage and sex in long-term relationships can and will be boring sometimes, especially when it's happening as often as it should. Do missionary. Roll over and close your legs together tight because you know that's what makes them finish quickly. Like, do something that makes it more manageable for you, because if I was having a 45-minute session every time that this happened, I would not want to do it either. It has to be like very manageable and very reasonable and very enjoyable for both parties.
Not to get TMI, because my partner is not very, like, he's a very private person. I love missionary. I love being on top. Like, that'll do it for me. Like, those are the only positions that I need, and both of us will finish every single time. There's not been a time where we haven't made it work for both of us. And like, it's not like this extended long, like, sex session. Like, if it was like, I've been with guys where it's like, oh my God, are you done yet?
Can we get it fucking over with?
I'm raw and swollen the next day. No, it's like, find what works for you and your partner. Good sex doesn't have to be long, intense, crazy sex. It can just be very normal, comfortable, whatever works for the two of you.
And that's exactly my point. Because it's like, I think there's this idea that sex has to be like so passionate and crazy and spontaneous and long, and holy shit, nobody has time for that.
And if you feel like maybe you've lost the spark and you need to bring things in to spice things up, bring a toy in. Do something fun. Bring like some type of ointment that numbs things, or I don't know, like stimulates things. Like, try things, dress up, role play, whatever you need to do, but that still doesn't mean you have to have 45-minute long monkey sex.
No, and like, try.
Yeah.
Right? Just try a little bit harder, because I do think that the beginning of the end of any relationship is when you stop trying. And that doesn't mean just for sex, that means for everything. But if you try a little bit harder to enjoy sex, you might find that it's actually not that hard.
Yeah. And another thing that I do think is important to mention, because this has happened to me in a relationship, I think that there can be two ways to play it. If you are feeling like very low sex drive in your relationship, you either need to try, and you should try if you love this person and want to be with them. But there also is the other side of things, which is more confusing and kind of traumatic, is when you might just not be that into them anymore. And that might be your body's way of telling you that this relationship isn't for you. And I think we hear people say, oh, you have to try, you have to keep the spark alive. I think there's a lot of things to consider when in that position, because I was in a relationship where we were together for 4 years, and I was the one, I don't think the last year of our relationship, I don't think we touched each other, and that was my choice. I like would not let him touch me. And there's also the other side to this, like, I waited so long to try again that by the time it got so far down the road, there was like no coming back from it. We were just roommates at that point, maybe. But I really do think it takes a lot of introspection, and I think age and experience helps. Like, I was very young at this point in my life. Maybe I would view that differently now, because I would be very aware of what that means. But I think that deep down, if it's something deeper than just not being in the mood. If you're just too comfortable and you're just too tired and you're just stressed out and it's just not a priority anymore, that's one thing. But there's also the other side of it where maybe it's your body telling you that you want something different and that this isn't the person for you. And I think regardless, you need to assess the situation and really think, where is this coming from?
And I think a really good tell for that, to know if you've fallen out of love with someone and it's not the person for you and it's just not working anymore, is if you've tried and it's still not working. Or if you find yourself sexually lusting after other
Someone
people.
else, yeah. That's a huge indicator.
And not your partner.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest indicator. Because listen, we're all human. We're going to find other people attractive. But at no point, at least for me, would you want to like be intimate with somebody other than your partner if that's truly the person you want to be with. I know infidelity happens all the time. Usually in long-term relationships where someone is not feeling fulfilled in some sort of emotional or physical aspect. But I think that there's a lot that leads up to that point. And I heard someone say, like, nobody cheats when they're happy. So I'm a firm believer in that. The one relationship that I've been in where there was infidelity, we weren't fucking happy when it happened. Like, there were so many issues going on. We loved each other. We wanted to be with each other, but we were very, very unhappy.
And that leads to my next point. you're a lot more likely to want to fuck someone when they treat you well.
Yeah.
You're a lot more likely to want to fuck someone when you're happy with them. Because I can tell you what, in the relationship I'm in now, there has never been a point where I've looked at that guy and be like, I don't want to have sex with him because I don't like the way he makes me feel, because I don't feel safe, or because I want somebody else instead. No.
Well, I think too, like, when you're in a relationship where someone's not treating you well and you're not feeling sexually stimulated by them, sometimes you don't even know that that's the reason. You might just feel like you're just not feeling it. You don't really know why. And I think that that's really confusing, especially if you go from being very sexually intimate with this person. You know, in the beginning of a relationship, like we discussed, you're usually pretty hot and heavy in the beginning. And then as it starts to fizzle out, I think every relationship has that little moment of panic where you're like, what's going on? Why are they not attracted to me? Am I not attracted to them? And the reality of it is no, that's just the natural ebb and flow of life. And it's okay to feel that way. I think Madison's point is like, you have to try. And my point is like, also assess if there's an underlying reason why you feel that way. Cause I think it gets brushed under the rug a lot of the times because it's human nature. We don't want to address the things that are going to cause us pain and be difficult for us to deal with. And I think leaving a relationship is one of those things that we push off and we push off and we push off. And there are signs and there are signs and there are signs. And I just think taking heed of the situation and what it is can help save you a lot of pain in the long run.
They say that foreplay for women starts the second they open their eyes in the morning. And I so believe that, because if you wake up and the bedroom's a mess and your man shits all over the floor and there's dog shit smeared all over the wall and the sink's full of dishes, do you think that you're going to be in the mood to have sex? Like, when you're with a man who gets his shit done, prioritizes things, helps you, respects you, it's a lot easier to be horny.
Yeah.
And like, if you feel like you had that in your relationship at one point and it's gone and you've lost it and that's why you've lost your sexual drive for your partner, and if you feel like they're upset because you don't want to have sex with them as much as you used to, then you should have a conversation with them about the fact that sex for you is a lot more than just poking it in and out. Like, you need rounded out comfort and stability in order to feel safe with intimacy.
And I think too, keep in mind, like, sex in a relationship is equally beneficial for you in the relationship. It helps make you feel closer to your partner, and it helps keep the intimacy that you just can't have in any other relationship other than your romantic relationship there. It's what makes romantic relationships so much more intense and deep and special.
What makes them romantic?
Yeah.
The way I feel about Allie, you know.
You're saying you wouldn't want to come get some of this.
Like, if we were having
I'm just
sex,
kidding.
we'd be dating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
100%. But like, it's important because it's what keeps that romantic aspect alive. And I think when you get so comfortable with your partner, it's easy to say, oh, well, we're good. We're not going to break up. We don't need this. But then as some time goes on, it's really hard to get back into that sexual mindset with them because they're now just someone that you live with, that you go through life with. And I feel like it becomes a little bit awkward if you don't make a little bit of an effort to be sexy and make them feel sexy and drive that intimacy. Yeah.
And I am never gonna be on the side of a cheating man, because if you cheat on your wife, I don't give a fuck the circumstance, you suck. Leave your wife if you don't want to be with her. Don't fucking cheat on her. But men need sex to be happy and to feel like they are happy in a relationship, even if it's, you know, like we talked about earlier with our safe partners.
I mean, women need fucking sex too, though.
You know what? Touche to that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, women, we're just better at controlling our urges. I do think that men get crazy, but I'm sick of the narrative of like, men have to have sex or they're going to cheat on their wives because you're depriving them. Like, go fuck yourself. You know how long women have to wait to have sex or choose to wait to have sex because they have, self-control.
No doubt. And that's what I'm saying. Like, not your wife not fucking you is not an excuse to cheat on her.
Right.
But I am saying, if you feel like your relationship is slipping and that's one of the reasons why, you know, that could be something that you work on as a couple. And that you might be surprised by how much, and that is bullshit. It fucking is bullshit that you might be surprised by how much that brings your man back to you, but you might be surprised.
Well, but I feel the same way, like, as a woman. And the reason I came at you like that is because I feel like for me, when I'm having sex regularly in a relationship, I'm more likely to view my man as like my man and like my man. Like, yeah, that's my man and I'm gonna stand beside beside him. You know what I mean? Like, I will ride or die for my man because I'm having that intimate connection. I'm getting it regularly. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loved, appreciated. I'm getting my rocks off, whatever, however you want to phrase it. I think it's destructive on both ends to not have sex because I think the man might feel less desired and less valuable, and maybe they're getting a little sexually frustrated. And then same with the woman. Like, the woman might not feel as close to the man, might not feel, again, as desirable or like she's desiring him as much. I feel like sometimes when we don't have sex in a relationship as a woman, you stop desiring them in the same way.
There's
because,
no doubt.
You know, you have to keep that momentum going.
And I think desire really comes down to confidence as well, because when you feel good about yourself.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Like, when you feel good about yourself, you exude confidence, which causes desire.
I can't even tell you, this might be embarrassing to admit, how many times I haven't wanted to have sex because I feel unattractive. I feel fat. I haven't shaved. Even with my man let's be real, when I don't shave, I really don't shave. And it gets to a point where I'm like, babe,
You need to stay out of there.
like, I just don't feel attractive. Regardless of what my partner thinks, he does not give a fuck. I care. I don't feel cute. I don't feel pretty. I don't feel clean. Even if I showered 20 minutes prior, if I feel dirty or gross or fat or ugly or whatever.
You won't enjoy it as much.
I don't want to be naked in front of you.
Yep.
I don't want to. And of course, like, you know.
Your partner's like, I don't give a fuck.
And they don't. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And you probably look the exact same as you did when you felt the prettiest, but it's really hard to bring yourself into such a vulnerable situation. And granted, it's not vulnerable when you've been with your partner forever, but to some people it is. To me, it is. I'm not the naked neighbor. I will never be the naked neighbor. I'm fully clothed around the house by myself.
I'm the naked fucking neighbor.
Madison's the naked neighbor. Madison is not shy when it comes to.
I walked out on the front porch to pick up a package today, butt naked.
Yeah. And that's great. I wish I was more like that when it comes to romantic relationships. Like, sometimes I feel like, let me run around the house butt naked. I'm feeling good about myself. And sometimes I'm like, turn around while I take my shirt off. And they're like, I've seen the inside of your labia.
Like, what does it matter?
The inside of your colon. Like, why are you.
Oh, gross.
Just kidding. But like, why? What do you mean turn around? Like, I've seen your boobs more than you've seen your own boobs. And I'm like, I know, but I don't feel, you know, and I feel like that really for me plays a role in, even if sometimes I'll be horny and I'll want to have sex, but I'll still reject the sex because
you don't feel good about yourself.
I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel sexy. I don't want to.
And what I can say to that is, as much as you should take care of yourself for your partner, you should take care of yourself for yourself. Mm-hmm. Because there is nothing that feels better than feeling good about yourself. Mm-hmm. You will want to lose 10 pounds. You're going to want to fuck like a rabbit. And like, I'm not saying that you should lose 10 pounds so that your husband wants to have sex with you, because that is...
Lose 10 pounds so that you want to have sex with him.
So that, exactly.
Yeah.
Because like we said, your man doesn't really care that much.
No.
You know, he really doesn't. I
like,
mean,
they'll
of course,
fuck a walnut.
They appreciate
they'll fuck a sweet potato.
A walnut?
They'll fuck a sweet potato.
They appreciate when you try a little bit harder for them, but they actually don't really give a shit. Mm-hmm. You have to feel good about yourself so that you enjoy those things more. It's exactly like when I go to the gym and my man's like, can I go down on you? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I lose confidence when I don't feel like something is right or me, or when I weigh a little bit more than I usually do. I don't feel the same during sex. I don't feel as womanly or sexual. And that's just me. I'm not saying that losing weight is everyone's go-to, but like, maybe it's you do your hair and makeup a certain way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you wear a certain outfit. Maybe it's you keep your legs shaved, or you keep a tan on.
Or you get rid of the bush.
Whatever it is that makes you feel sexy, you will enjoy sex so much more
Yeah.
if you prioritize that self-care.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, we're getting real honest right now. Like, I am a very hairy girl, very Italian, very hairy. And I hate shaving. Like, I wish that I could just snap my fingers and have no hair, but it doesn't matter. And I'm really lucky to have a partner who doesn't care, loves me for me. I know, like, when it gets to a certain point when, like, I should probably handle that, but it's like, I've got so much other shit going on in my life. Like, that's not a priority to me, but that will deter me from wanting to have sex after a certain point, even though my partner doesn't care. So, like, this is just, I'm telling you guys this, I don't know why, just to say how you feel about yourself plays into your sex life directly, and taking care of yourself is more than just like eating healthy and doing this. It's like prioritizing the things that make you feel good about yourself. Like, how much better do you feel when your legs are just freshly shaved and lotioned? I'm sorry, I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you're pro women with leg hair. Like, you should have seen my armpit hair 2 days ago. You could have braided it. Like, I'm not saying that, but all I could think that through that time when, like, I hadn't shaved my legs, my arms, my armpits, nothing, was, wow, I can't wear a short sleeve shirt. I can't wear shorts. I can't wear. And the second that I took care of that, I was like, a new bitch.
You just feel better, like rubbing your clean legs together.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the same way. I went out to the club the other night with a tank top on and armpit hair, and I had my hands up, and I saw a guy staring at my armpit hair, and I was like, fucking crazy, huh? Like, I don't really give a shit what anybody else thinks, but I do care how I feel. And like you said, it just feels good to take care of yourself. And that's not just for sex. I think
Madison's armpit hair, she gets 3 hairs, by the way.
Ginger and like you can't say it. Whatever. He was still staring. Taking care of yourself, not just in a sexual aspect, but like self-discipline in your life, in your routine, in how you take care of yourself will make you feel so much better in all aspects. Your sex life, your emotional life, your career. Because when you have self-discipline, you feel like you've accomplished something. There's a lot of quick fixes in this life, and although they might temporarily work, they don't actually help you work on what matters, and that's the discipline and the doing what makes you feel good.
My biggest downfall in life is that I always have felt like I lacked discipline in certain areas, and I really would beat myself up about it. I dealt with depression for a lot of years, and I think anyone that's dealt with depression knows how hard it is to complete like the most basic tasks when all you want to do is be dead. Let's just be real. Like, you don't want to even shower. You don't even want to get out of bed to pee, let alone go to work, do the dishes, do your laundry, go grocery shopping, eat healthy, work out. Like, the list goes on and on. It gets really overwhelming. And I used to think I was really lazy for not wanting to do these things. And let me just say, you're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. And nobody ever taught you how to rest. And when you get stuck in that cycle, you start to develop this really stagnant mindset. And it's really hard to persevere when things feel like they're just stacking up on you. If you know you're capable of more, but feel like you lack the discipline in your day-to-day life, this is something that really helped me, and it's Mr. Tomorrow Man. Think about what Mr. Tomorrow Man needs to be successful. Because if today you eat that pizza, then Mr. Tomorrow Man's going to have to deal with the consequences. If today you skip the gym, then Mr. Tomorrow Man is going to have to deal with the consequences. You are Mr. Tomorrow Man. You wake up tomorrow and you deal with the consequences that you left for yourself from the day before. So set yourself up for success for tomorrow. Who cares what you want right now in this moment? Put your focus on what you want tomorrow. If what you're doing right now isn't serving your Mr. Tomorrow Man, then you shouldn't do it. It's really easy to give in to what we want in the moment, but if you can just remind yourself that the you that has to take on tomorrow will thank the you that lived today, then I think you'll start to shift your mindset and how you make your choices.
And I think that's such a good point, and a really good point to being able to set boundaries, because being able to make decisions for yourself today has a lot to do with the boundaries that you set for yourself. If you're always saying yes, if you're always letting people cross your boundaries, your Mr. Tomorrow Man is going to suffer. If you're always saying yes to people just to make them happy and to please them, even when it's something that you don't want to do, you'll notice that you're letting your self-discipline slip because your friends want to go out and drink, or you don't want to go to the gym because someone wants to go out to eat, or you have to show up for someone for something that you really don't have time for. You have to be able to set boundaries in order to have a successful life. You don't owe anyone access to you just because they're used to having it. And setting those boundaries with people will change your life.
No is a full sentence. And you shouldn't have to explain yourself to anybody. And if you feel like there are people in your life that can't accept your answer, then those people don't respect your boundaries and they're not your friends.
You'll notice when you start to set boundaries that the people who get angry about that and the people who cross your boundaries are not actually the people that you want or need in your life anyway.
Yeah, people that are meant to be in your life should be excited for you setting boundaries for yourself, because they should see that you're trying to better yourself and they should support that. So if you're getting anything less than that from your boyfriend, your sex life, your friends, your family, then it's time to cut it. And yeah.
And I also think it's really important to add to that. It's really important to respect the boundaries that other people set for you. If someone says no to you, don't push it. If someone needs something from you, you have to respect that, just like you would hope they would do for you in return.
Like when Madison earlier, when I said, will you take a shot with me? She said no. And I said, you're taking a shot with me.
And then what did I do?
She took
a shot with her.
me.
But that's the thing about that is like, obviously sometimes it's not a hard boundary. It's not a hard line.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm the fucking easiest person to get to do something. I fall to peer pressure like a fucking leaf in the wind. I mean, I'll say no once, twice. You push on me, like, I'm going to fucking crumble.
I don't know. Sometimes you hold pretty firm with the no drinking here. And I'm like, ugh.
When have I ever fucking done that except for dry January? Name one time that I didn't drink when I
There's
said
been
I
a couple times, but it's usually when you're not feeling good.
I feel like I usually drink anyway, but...
No, it's been a couple times.
Oops, I just kicked the mic.
Oh.
Well, on that note, baddies, happy episode 53. Go fuck like rabbits.
Yeah.
You guys deserve it.
You know what? Go fuck your man right now. Go tell him, go pin him down and say, Daddy, tonight's the night.
Tonight is the night that I will fall for you. Over again. Don't make me change my mind. And I can live to see another day. I swear it's true. 'Cause a girls like you are impossible to find. Impossible to find. Bye, baddies.
Cheers. Can we really just sing that?
I love that little outro.